Yumma everyone, welcome to Hot Pink Goanna Studios, Deadly Artists with Disabilities podcast. We're going to be doing a series of podcasts talking and having a yarn with amazing artists through the Noonaron group who are living with disabilities and talk about the contributions they are making to our culture, our community and to the arts. Now these podcasts are available due to the generous support from Queensland Arts or Arts Queensland and the Queensland Government, who have been able to provide us with a grant to be able to get these and bring these to you. So I really want to acknowledge that, because without that we wouldn't have been able to develop these podcasts and put them out there for you. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy them. Hi everyone, Yamadoomaran, Uncle Paul here from Hot Pink Goanna Art Studios, Deadly Artists with Disabilities, and today we're talking to another one of our amazing artists from the Noonaron group, Auntie Paula Wooden. Now Auntie Paula, she won't talk herself up, but she can tell you who her mob is, but she's got a couple of connections across country there. But she's an amazing artist. Auntie Paula is also exhibited at the United Nations in Geneva. She has a couple of paintings in the exhibition we're taking to New York. Some of her artwork hangs at the University of New South Wales and in many private collections at the hospital. And she also runs her own business, so makes a really mean bush tucker, pretty mean lemon myrtle cheesecake as well. And she'll do one at the drop of a hat for me, so I owe her big time. And but she's part of our group. She's a huge support. She turns up at every exhibition. She's helped me put a lot of the exhibitions up. And one of our amazing elders. And she also does a lot of volunteer work. She's an elder on Murray Court up here, helping to support some of our mob from going back into jail, but getting them on programs and young women on programs to help them reconnect with community and that again. So I'll introduce you and say hi, Auntie Paula. Welcome to Hot Pink Goanna, Deadly Artists with Disabilities, and how you going?
Good, thanks. How you going, Uncle Paul? Good to have you. Thank you heaps for having me here today. Hi everybody. First of all, my country's Thurrabul, from New South Wales, down on the southeast coast of New South Wales. I've actually lived here at Imbil on the Merri Valley for 27 years now.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah. So on beautiful Gubby country. Yeah.
You have connections across the Wiradjuri mob too, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I do on my grandmother's side. So my grandfather came from Nowra, and my grandmother was born out Dubbo, Orange Way, from the Edwards family. And on my grandfather's side, we're from the Ardler family. So very well known and well respected down that region. My mum's the youngest of 11. So I have loads and loads of cousins, and we're spread all over Australia these days. Massive family.
You got family you haven't used yet.
Yeah. They're good for staying over. I do a lot of travelling, so when I head south I go and visit them quite often and catch up with a lot of them, so it's good catching up.
Now I know too you live with a lot of chronic health conditions, and it amazes me sometimes how you even get up out of bed of a morning, but it doesn't stop you. You do so much stuff, you're on the move all the time, and you do your beautiful artwork, you live on property, you even drove the school bus for a while locally, Murray Court, you run your own business. Geez, they're going to have to hit you with a bit of 4x2 to slow you down.
Yeah, I'm still backup driver for the school bus on occasion, and got my truck licence as well. That's right, yeah. HR hook truck driver. And these days I do a lot of workshops for community. A lot of community things. I've been on the board of an Aboriginal health organisation that's been situated on the coast here for over 20 years. So I've been on the that board for 17 years now. So we do a lot of good culture and health programs for our mob here. So really, that's one of my passions besides my artistic flair.
Yes, and obviously you don't sleep.
Not much. No, not much at all. No time for sleep. It's go.
Yeah. So look, I know your artwork very well, and I've seen you paint, and you do incredibly fine detail in your paintings and that as well. I'm just wondering, what drives you when you paint? Like, how do you connect to country, to ancestors? Like, how do you sort of get into it? Because you always do the stories, and it's just such incredible detail.
It's definitely spiritual for me. because there has been times where I can't get into the flow of the moment, and I literally say, come on, spirits, help me. And it just comes out of my art. And sometimes I can't even explain it. For example, the latest, one of my latest paintings, which is hanging at Murray Court, I didn't really even, as I started painting the mountains of the Glasshouse Mountains, I didn't realise that it's actually real mountains until I saw a photo, and which I hadn't seen until after I actually painted the mountains, and it was the resemblance was very uncanny, and then I put in that silhouette for the out in the horizon, standing at the top of Mary Cancross Park, and it's just a very spiritual painting. It's definitely the spirits helped me paint that, and the waterways that go through it. It has a lot of meaning for me, and when I finished it and I stood back and I looked at it, it actually shocked me that came out of me, because that was not the picture that I had in mind when I started it. So I think the spirits definitely guide me as I'm painting it, and you sort of get lost and it just flows out of you without having to actually think about it.
Yeah, and that painting is beautiful. So that's actually Maroochydore Courthouse. It's part of Murray Court. And the unveiling, was that today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So it is true, like when you paint, it's like writing a book, I say, like telling a story. So each section is a chapter or a sentence, and you just get into the flow of telling this story. And you have a rough idea of what the story's going to be, but it's not until you paint that you get into the characters and the detail and the location, right. And it just flows, and you just get into it, sort of stuff. And so it is a really nice space to get to do that.
Yeah. And another painting that I did for the UN was about having the right to have access to fresh water and healthy foods. And I've done bush tucker catering in the past for many years. So that I suppose my history of bush tucker influenced that painting. And there again, once I stood back and I looked at all the bush tucker that I'd painted, there again, that was very spiritual too.
Oh, and the detail, all the different bush tucker representations is beautiful detail on that.
Yeah, and I actually use all of those bush tuckers that was in that painting. I actually use those in bush tucker catering. So, and they're all readily available here on the Sunshine Coast.
And I think the good thing, the thing that's really stands out with that painting, I think it's Article 19, is it? Accessibility? I think it is. I'm not sure. But the thing is, what you paint is, when we talk about disabilities and accessibility, your painting goes beyond just the use of ramps and grab rails and wide doors. You actually talk about access to culture, to elders, to yarning, to your community, to bush tucker. So yours is about access beyond the physical needs, but the stuff that connects you to culture and to your community. It's accessibility.
Because to stay healthy, strong-minded, healthy in our mind, healthy in our body, it's not just physical, it's mental, it's spiritual, it's everything. It's our whole well-being, and that's that particular article that I painted. That's what that painting depicts. You can't have one without the other. It's all intertwined for our wellness.
Yeah, and also you're actually coming over to the United Nations to hopefully present your own painting, but to participate. We're not sure. We're going to do a sort of an exhibition over there, and we're hoping that the artwork will be used at the big opening party and that as well. So, but we managed to, because we weren't funded, you weren't funded that, but we got some support from the Queensland Motor Vehicle Accident Insurance Commission, who were very generous, and they see the value of incorporating our art and storytelling into supporting the Indigenous community. So they're covering the cost of your airfare. Oh, that's late. Airfare and accommodation.
Yeah, so I feel very, very blessed and very privileged to have been, one of the artists that was picked to go, and I'm really, really excited and looking forward to representing, not only our people but our mob here from the Sunshine Coast, and also the messages that's in our art with all those articles that we'll be taking in our art exhibition. So I think it's really important for all the other nations for the world to actually hear the meaning of the message behind all of those paintings.
Yep. And I don't think we've talked about actually what the paintings are about. So with the United Nations, it's about the United Nations Convention on the Rights of People with Disability. And there's so many articles. So there's mainly around 26 articles that impact directly on individual people. And what we've done, and Auntie Paula, you've done 2 of the paintings with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and each painting is an artist, First Nations artist with disability, perception of what a particular article is about and how it equates to us on a cultural level. So because a lot of our mob with disabilities have trouble accessing information on their rights and on human rights. So what this artwork does is show people how their human rights and these articles of the United Nations Convention actually relate to them. So you can say, oh, that's how it relates to me as an Aboriginal person, how those rights relate to me. So it's incredibly, I think, important exhibition for that. And I think you've depicted the articles beautifully. And I love the accessibility one because it's not about ramps and just grab rails, and that's so important about getting into buildings, but it's about access to your culture and access to your community and access to your traditional foods. And I think a lot of times people forget about that, and your artwork really accentuates that, and I think it's a really powerful message.
Yeah, it's holistic healing. So that's when I was doing those articles, I've always been aware of holistic healing. So I think that's how that's eventuated and come out in my art.
Yep. Oh, I think it does. So I think it'll be a huge thing for us mob to be over there, and in regards to the United Nations Convention, to be able to show them from an Indigenous, an Australian First Nations perspective on what that looks like. And I don't think, well, as far as I know, no one's ever done that before. There's not a lot of us going over. It's still predominantly the non-Indigenous community, but I think we'll be a lot louder, and we'll make sure that our artwork is seen around. And so if it's at the opening event, will be amazing.
Yeah.
And then maybe at another event. And I just found out today that South Korea are interested in having a yarn with us mob around art. So other nations are already hearing about the work we're doing and keen to have a yarn with us. And
that's fantastic.
Did I mention that too? I don't know. But Auntie Paula, when we did the exhibition in Geneva, actually did the Gary Namadi welcome dance at Geneva at the United Nations there, Palais Nations.
Yes.
And you put the traditional skirt on with the clapsticks, and even though you had a bit of a
painted
up, and you had a bit of a flu and you still got in there. I thought you were going to pass out because you got a bit of breath problem, but you got in there, and I was slack. I just stood in the back doing the clapsticks because I thought I ain't going to dance and sing. So hopefully we'll get to do it again this year, but at the opening ceremony of the UN.
Yes.
And so you'll be doing it now to both United Nations. You would have performed at.
I'm really looking forward to it. Not that I like performing by myself.
I'm
really out of my comfort zone, but it's about representing our people. And
one of our other artists going, I think he'll be really keen. I think if you show him the choreography, the dance stuff, he'll get in and do it, stand alongside you.
Yeah,
he'll love it. I'll just remain in the background again as one of the backup singers and just do the clapstick sort of stuff. So because I sing the same way I speak, very flat, monotone sort of thing. But I let him know today that you're willing to do that. So hopefully that gets across the line.
Yeah.
And some of the things we're going to be doing too, and we'll post photos of it. We're going to do some guerrilla art exhibitions, some pop-ups. So we're going to actually take some of the art pieces and do quick pop-ups in different places around New York with the artists, and so it sort of looks like Noonaron has taken over New York. So
that's all right. We'll even do it in the park if we have to.
We'll do it in the park, and I thought maybe quickly stand on Madison Avenue and quickly unroll a painting and stand and get photos, and just get some people on the streets. So I think it's going to be quite an experience. We may not have an ongoing permanent exhibition space, but I think we're going to really make an impact with the artwork. And there's already people showing interest and wanting to include us as part of their events. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. And but I'm looking forward to doing the cheeky stuff. Like, where can we go to well-known New York art exhibitions and unveil a couple of paintings and take some photos?
Absolutely. I'll get painted up and walk down the main street in New York.
There you go.
I will.
Down Fifth Avenue.
No problem.
Outside Tiffany's.
You don't even have to dare me.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do a bush tucker breakfast at Tiffany's.
There we can. Oh, boy.
Yeah. So no, really looking forward to it, and we'll keep people posted. Hopefully, have some more photos of what we're doing. And if you want to go to the website, doing this, I'm sure we would have seen some of Auntie Paula's beautiful artwork. So so thanks, Auntie, for coming along and spending some time and having a yarn. And I hope we get to do many more of these, and sharing our stories of what our mob with disabilities are doing out in community and contributing to culture.
Yeah.
And
All right. Thanks, Uncle Paul, for having us. It was great having a chat.
my pleasure. So talk soon.
Absolutely.
We'll get some lemon myrtle cheesecake.
Yep, I'll get some of that too.
See ya.
Thanks.